rounding the corner to the guest room. He took long strides toward her, Kara and Sarah cooing at the jouncy ride. When he got to the guest room, he stared down at Tara, who had found one of the dog's squeezy toys and was happily gumming it. Yeah. 3 babies, 2 arms. He shifted the 2 girls he was holding to his left side, sliding his arm through their overall straps as if he were slinging a backpack over his forearm. They hung there gurgling while he bent over and plucked Tara off the floor. Mudshark and his wriggling crew returned to the family room where his parents slept peacefully, unaware that the triplets had discovered mobility. From that moment on, Mudshark did everything he could to anticipate their moves and keep them out of trouble. He stood guard between the triplets and electrical outlets. There had been a close call with Tara, a Barbie doll and a surge protector. The dog bowl, Sarah was especially fond of kibble, and the cat box. Mudshark made a flying leap across the room the first time he saw Kara sitting next to the litter box, reaching a small hand toward the mysterious clumps she saw. He snatched her up before she connected. Yes, he owed his speed and attention to detail to Kara, Sarah, and Tara. But the way he moved wasn't why Mudshark was cool. And it wasn't his clothes. Sometimes his outfit fit in with the way everybody else dressed, and sometimes it didn't. Once, he wore a green wool sweater that had a yellow leather diamond stamped with the head of a poodle in the middle of the chest. It was as ugly as broken teeth chewing rotten meat. But by the end of the day, everybody in school wished they had a green wool sweater with a yellow leather diamond and a poodle on it, too. That's how cool Mudshark was. It didn't matter to Mudshark what they called him, or that he wasn't allowed to play deathball anymore because of how badly he'd frightened the other players with his fast moves. Deathball was not known to require cunning or quickness, just the brute force and raw grit necessary to last the 4 quarters of, as parents and other adults shudderingly referred to it, that game. Mudshark knew cool wasn't in how you moved, or a name, or clothes, or whether or not you were asked to play on anyone's team. It was all in the way your thoughts ran through your mind, the way you managed the flow of electrical charges jumping from one brain cell to another to form ideas. That's what makes somebody who they are, and that's why Mudshark was so cool. He thought. While everyone else was hanging out or goofing off or playing video games or listening to music or watching TV or walking down the hallway in a funk or texting each other or surfing the net, he was observing the people and objects and sights and scenes around him. Thinking. Once, when he was just 5.5 years old, he went up to his mother and said, "Mom, I think all the time." "About what?" "Everything." Deep breath, let it out, sigh. "What are you thinking about right now?" "Fingernails grow exactly 4 times faster than toenails. But it's not like we need toenails because we don't even use them for scratching, and did you know that an octopus doesn't even have toenails?" He sighed again, and as he turned to walk away, he said, "It makes a man think." He also read all the time. His mother was the lead research coordinator at the public library, and from the time he was very tiny, she'd brought him to work with her, setting him on the floor behind her desk with a stack of books she'd absent-mindedly pulled from the nearest shelf. Never picture books or easy readers, but books on astronomy and astrophysics and the history of democracy and the rise and fall of ancient civilizations. He'd learned to read before he went to kindergarten and was always carrying 2 or 3 books with him. He only had to read a page once to be able to quote from it word for word. As he grew older, his memory became better because of the way he learned to pay attention to every sight, smell, taste, and sound every minute of every day. As with any skill, practice made him more proficient, and over time, he developed a nearly photographic memory. Eventually, people noticed his knack for quoting obscure facts and remembering tiny details, and when a kid at school had a question or problem, someone would say, "Ask Mudshark." "Hey, Mudshark," Marky McCorkman said. "I lost my homework." And Mudshark remembered him